Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Oh, yeah.
This time, we're tackling YouTube success secrets.
Ooh, sounds juicy.
And we've got some awesome sources lined up.
I love it when you say that.
We've been digging into interviews with MrBeast.
The king of YouTube.
And also some advice from the folks over at Think Media.
Those guys know their stuff.
They really do. So I was thinking, we could compare and contrast their approaches.
See where they overlap and where they diverge.
Exactly. And try to figure out, what are the universal principles that anyone trying to make it on YouTube can use?
You know what really struck me right off the bat?
What?
They both emphasize this long game mentality.
Ooh, interesting. You mean like not expecting to blow up overnight?
Yeah, exactly. Like MrBeast actually talks about putting in a decade of work.
10 years.
You heard that right. 10 years of dedicated effort. He even said he was ridiculed for the first 5.
5 years of ridicule. That's some serious dedication.
I know, right? But then you see where he is now, and it kind of makes you think maybe that's the secret sauce. Like maybe that's what separates the casual creators from the true YouTube giants.
I think so. And you know what? Think Media actually backs this up.
Really? How so?
They shared this story about a video that took almost a year to gain any traction.
A year?
Yep. A whole year. It's like they planted a seed and just waited patiently for it to sprout.
Wow, that's crazy. So we're talking patience, persistence.
Absolutely, but it's not just about blindly churning out videos.
Right. There's got to be more to it.
Both MrBeast and Think Media stress understanding how the platform works.
Makes sense.
MrBeast in particular, he's obsessed with data.
Oh, yeah. He's all about the numbers.
He uses tools to track what the audience is clicking on, what's holding their attention, and what's falling flat.
He calls it his interest market cap, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's basically figuring out which topics have the potential to go big before he even starts filming.
So he's letting data guide his creative decisions.
Exactly. He gave this great example. He chose to destroy a Lamborghini instead of a Ferrari in one of his videos because the Lamborghini had way more search interest.
Wait, so he literally chose what to destroy based on Google searches?
Yep, pretty smartly.
That's wild. It makes you wonder what kind of tools are out there that we could be using.
Oh, there are tons. Some are even free. You can get amazing insights into audience behavior.
So it's like we have access to this goldmine of information.
Exactly. But it's not just about the tools themselves. It's about knowing how to interpret the data.
Right, like what's the story behind the numbers?
Exactly. What's your audience really craving?
That's almost like being a detective.
Totally. You're looking for clues to figure out what's going to resonate with your viewers.
And this data-driven approach, it's not just for the MrBeasts of the world, right?
Nope. It's becoming essential for anyone who's serious about creating content online.
Okay, so we've got the long game, we've got the data obsession. What else?
Another big theme that emerged was collaboration.
Ooh, interesting.
MrBeast is super open about how much of his success comes from his crew.
His team of fellow creators.
Yeah, they're constantly bouncing ideas off each other, learning from each other's mistakes, pushing each other to be better.
It's like they've created this little YouTube ecosystem.
Totally. And Think Media, they're all about community, too.
Oh, yeah, they're big on that.
They talk about how important it is to have a network of people who support you, challenge you, and help you test out new ideas.
Makes sense. YouTube can be a pretty lonely place if you're going it alone.
For sure. It's like trying to climb a mountain without any ropes or fellow climbers.
And that's where this idea of mastermind groups comes in.
Right, like a built-in brainstorming session and cheering squad all rolled into one.
Think Media really embodies that spirit.
They do. It makes you think, do you have a network like that?
A group of people to bounce ideas off of, get feedback, celebrate wins with?
Because building that support system, that might be just as crucial as any fancy editing trick or viral strategy.
You know what, you're right. It might not be as flashy as destroying a Lamborghini. True. But it could be just as important for long-term success on YouTube.
Absolutely. It's funny, we were just talking about community and support.
Yeah.
Because it kind of ties into this whole thing about thumbnails.
Oh, yeah. MrBeast's thumbnails are legendary.
Right.
They're like their own art form.
He's super meticulous about the whole process. He shoots a year's worth of thumbnail images in a dedicated studio.
A whole year.
And then A/B tests different variations.
Wow, that's some serious commitment.
Well, I mean, think about it. Thumbnails are the first thing people see
True.
when they're scrolling through YouTube.
It's your one chance to make a good first impression.
Exactly. It's like the storefront of your video.
I like that analogy.
And MrBeast gets that. He even developed his own tool called ViewStats Pro.
To analyze thumbnails?
Yep, it was internal at first, but now it's available to everyone.
No way.
Well,
So he's not just using data for his content, but also for how he presents it.
exactly. He's talking about finding outliers,
Outliers.
thumbnails that perform way better than others.
Oh, I see.
Trying to understand what elements are driving those clicks and views.
Like what colors, images, text.
All of that. Have you ever played around with A/B testing?
A little bit. I'm curious to see how much of a difference those small tweaks can make.
It can be surprising. Even subtle changes can impact click-through rates.
Really?
There was a study I read about human faces and thumbnails
Interesting.
that consistently led to higher engagement.
Why is that?
Our brains are wired to connect with faces.
Makes sense. So we're drawn to videos with a person looking right at us.
Pretty much. It's like we're getting a peek into the psychology of YouTube.
So we've got the long game data analysis collaboration and now this super detailed approach to thumbnails.
It's like MrBeast is leaving no stone unturned.
And yet, with all this focus on strategy, there's another side to him.
What's that?
His commitment to giving back.
Oh, yeah. His philanthropy is incredible.
He's always incorporating charity work and social impact initiatives.
Think about it. He's built wells in Africa, donated millions to food banks, even started his own charity.
Beast philanthropy.
Exactly. And he doesn't just write checks. He gets involved, uses his platform to raise awareness.
It's like he's proving you can be successful and do good at the same time.
I think that really resonates with his audience.
Yeah, people admire his generosity.
And his willingness to make a positive impact.
It's like he's created this virtuous cycle.
His success lets him give back in bigger ways.
Which attracts an even bigger audience.
Exactly. He's challenging that old narrative that you have to be ruthless to make it.
It's inspiring.
Speaking of business, MrBeast has built an empire outside of YouTube, too.
Oh, yeah. Feastables, Beast Burger, even a mobile game.
He understands diversification is key.
Especially in the online world.
He's not putting all his eggs in one basket.
Smart. And he has some interesting advice for creators thinking about launching products.
Like what?
I'm all ears.
He says don't jump in prematurely.
Especially if you're not passionate.
Yeah, it's easy to just slap your name on something and hope it sells.
But that rarely works long term.
He stresses building a real business, not a quick cash grab.
So he's playing the long game with his businesses too.
It seems like it. He also talks about creating a moment when you launch.
Like building anticipation.
Exactly. Countdowns, limited editions, surprise drops.
He's a master of that.
It creates a sense of urgency and exclusivity.
It's like he's turned product launches into entertainment.
And it's working. Feastables were a massive hit. Beast Burger is expanding like crazy.
So he's not just selling something, he's inviting people to be part of something bigger.
I think that's a big part of his appeal.
So we've learned that MrBeast is more than just a YouTuber.
He's an entrepreneur building a multimedia empire.
Blending entertainment, philanthropy, business acumen.
It's pretty remarkable.
And what's even more impressive is he's doing it all while staying true to his values.
It's a powerful reminder that success doesn't have to come at the expense of integrity.
Well said. You know, we've talked a lot about MrBeast's strategies,
Yeah.
but I'm curious about his creative process. Like, how does he come up with these crazy ideas?
He actually describes it as a mix of data and intuition.
So it's not just like throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Not exactly. He uses data to identify topics with high audience interest.
Right, like his interest market cap thing.
Exactly. But then he takes those insights and filters them through his own creative lens.
That he's finding that sweet spot between what people want and what he's passionate about.
I think so. He's not just chasing trends, he's setting them.
And he talked about revisiting older videos, too.
Oh, yeah. Looking for concepts that maybe didn't work the first time, but had potential.
Like that gaming video that sparked the Ages 1-100 idea.
Exactly. He saw something there and reimagined it into something completely new.
It's a good reminder that sometimes our best ideas are already there, just waiting to be rediscovered.
Totally. And you know, another thing that impressed me was his honesty about setbacks.
Yeah, he's not afraid to admit that not every video is a hit.
He even talked about how early on he used to get really down on himself when a video flopped.
It's refreshing to hear that even someone like him experiences self-doubt.
But he's learned to reframe those failures as opportunities to learn.
He said, every day I don't film is a day I could have made my videos better.
That's some serious dedication.
Yeah, it really is. He's constantly evolving, pushing the boundaries.
So where does he see things going in the future?
Yeah, what's his vision?
Well, he talked about how the lines between creator and entrepreneur are blurring.
He's a prime example of that. Feastables Beast Burger, his Amazon show.
He's building entire ecosystems around his brand.
It's crazy, and he's doing it all while staying true to his values.
Entertainment, generosity, authenticity.
It's a masterclass in building a brand in the digital age.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on MrBeast, what are the key takeaways?
I think the biggest lesson is that success takes passion, hard work, and a willingness to embrace data and intuition.
Knowing your audience, pushing creative boundaries, experimenting.
And remembering that even the biggest creators face setbacks.
It's about learning from those setbacks and keep moving forward.
MrBeast has set a high bar, but his story is one of possibility.
It's a reminder that anyone with a great idea and the drive to see it through can achieve amazing things.
So if you're feeling inspired, don't let anything hold you back. Go out there, push your limits.
You might just be the next MrBeast.
That's all for this deep dive.
We hope you found it insightful.
Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and keep pushing those boundaries.
See you soon.